Welcome back. You are watching ClearCut Plus. I'm Roxanne Evans, in tonight for Michelle McCory, who is on assignment. The Palestinian Authority is considering a reconciliation with the United States. The PA broke off relations with the U.S. when it recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital in December of 2017. But according to the Israeli newspaper, Israel HaYom, a senior Palestinian official says conciliatory messages have been sent via back channels between Ramallah and Washington. The official told the newspaper the discussions are strictly feelers for the moment, but both sides are said to be hopeful on renewing relations. The United States today imposed sanctions on 3 members of Hezbollah, 2 of whom are elected politicians in Lebanon. The action is the first time that Lebanese members of parliament have been added to the list. As a result of the action, all property and investments in the United States or controlled by people for these individuals must be blocked and reported. Israel's prime minister today took a poke at Iran. The regime renewed its threats to destroy Israel should the United States attack Iran. While touring an Israeli Air Force base, Netanyahu spoke to reporters.
Very impressive tour at the Air Force Base. I'm looking at all our weapon systems and planes. Behind me is the Adir jet F-35. Iran recently has been threatening Israel's destruction. It should remember that these planes can reach anywhere in the Middle East, including Iran and certainly Syria.
And it seems Netanyahu may have been reminding Iran that it was just in March of last year 3 F-35s flew a covert mission over Iran, a mission that was only recently revealed. So joining me right now, Majed Brodsky. He is a senior fellow with the Security Studies Group. Good evening, Majed. We're going to start with the Palestinian Authority. After hearing this latest news, a reasonable question many are asking, and also given the fact of everything they've done leading up to this, why should we believe the Palestinian Authority wants to renew ties right now?
Right. Well, I'm not necessarily sure that we should believe it. This could, of course, just be a trial balloon. But even if it's a trial balloon, if it's not, even if it is, what it does indicate is something quite clearly, and that indicates that the Palestinian Authority has realized that its ability to not engage with the Trump administration in any part of the peace process has a diminishing returns for them. Essentially, they want probably to get back in. They tried to prevent all sorts of other countries in the region from attending the Bahrain workshop. That failed. They tried preventing Palestinian businessmen, but still some went there. Now, they themselves are isolated, unfortunately, from their perspective. So it would make sense if they wanted to get back in and to start having discussions with the administration, because the region and Israel and the rest of the world seems to be moving forward. And there will come a time, apparently, when the political plan will also be released, in addition to the economic plan that was already put out. And then they're going to have to engage. Otherwise, everyone is going to look at them and say, if you're not engaging, if you're not a part of this, then what are you doing? What good are you?
Okay, so then, Majed, what is their motivation then? What is the whole purpose of this?
Well, I think what's interesting is that this administration, as opposed to the previous Obama administration, which really took a much harder line on Israel and really worked to promote the Palestinians, the Palestinian Authority then, back under the Obama administration, still really didn't get into the entire process. And then still, during the Kerry times in 2013, 2014, when John Kerry was leading a peace effort, they still went ahead and joined a bunch of other international conventions and left aside the entire peace process. Now, the Trump administration has really been putting the pressure on the Palestinian Authority since he's come in. He's said, why are we paying for UNRWA, for instance, the UN agency for Palestinian refugees, if it perpetuates the conflict instead of helps solve it, close the consulate down? And we've reimposed, the United States has reimposed basically punishments for the type of intransient behavior that the Palestinian Authority has exhibited. And they've thought that they would be able to essentially have the rest of the world come to them and say, it's okay, you're being mistreated. But the world is moving on. There are other threats in the region. Israel and Arab world normalization is still continuing apace. And as the Bahrain workshop just showed, the Palestinian Authority has nothing to show for their effort to try to get other people to not attend. So I think they may have to make a different decision, which is to engage in the process, which obviously is better for the people, but clearly would be better for themselves.
Okay, Matthew, thank you. Matthew Brodsky. Well, across the Mediterranean,